16-game winning streak is on the line. Why not show a full quarter of gameplay? Offense, defense, show some missed shots, some turnovers. Why not? His team is in the backcourt. We're rushing. That's a oop. That's a oop right there. There we go. I think that the draft league is so much more fun than the NBA roster leagues. I just think it's more competitive in my opinion. Because in a regular team league, just from the start, just before the league even starts, there's about 10 to 15 teams that have no chance of going anywhere. Because a team like the Kings or the Knicks, I don't mean to pick on any of these teams, but those teams have no chance against Lakers, Nuggets, Cavs, and Magic and Celtics, etc. If you put together a league full of great players, 30 great players in the league, the teams that will come out on top are the teams that are the best in the league, period. There's no way a good gamer is going to lose. There's no way a good gamer is going to lose to a team like the Kings or the Knicks when they have the Magic or the Lakers. There's no way that they're going to be able to put up a fight in a series or even in the regular season. It's just not going to happen because great players, when they have a great team with great mismatches, they're not going to lose to those teams. So automatically, right off the bat, before the league even starts, NBA roster leagues are just not competitive. The draft league is, the draft order is random. So everyone in the league has the same chance at getting a Kobe Bryant or LeBron James with the first pick. T-Mac, he's a beast. Except, actually, there are some draft leagues that they sabotage. The admins, they don't do a live draft. They do a pre-ranking draft where they make everyone in the league pre-rank their players. And so that way the admin can get Kobe Bryant every single season or whoever they want because they're going to get the first pick, even though they don't get the first pick on the console because they're doing – and look at that failure right there, a post-failure, not even getting a shot up. That is embarrassing, Shaq. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Some leagues, they try to sabotage the draft order with they don't do a live draft. They do a pre-rank. And so the next thing you know, the admins every single season have the best players, or they have that first pick where they get, whoever they want. So let's say if he's a Kobe fan, he's going to get Kobe every single season because he's not doing a live draft. That's just pathetic. If you do it the way it's supposed to be done, it's completely random. The team that was dominating a season before, might get the 30th pick next season. Or maybe they get the first pick again. You never know. It's totally random. But that randomness adds to, look at McGrady shooting off of the backboard. What is that? So that element of randomness adds to the competition. Because it's so random, you don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I mean, in an NBA roster league, it seems like people want to trade. They want to make big moves and trade and move around players. So they might as well just do a draft league anyway. You go and play the Suns, and maybe Nash is not there, maybe Amari's not there. Maybe you play the Celtics, and Rondo's been traded or Pierce has been traded. What's the point in that? You might as well just do a draft league anyway. And they do have some draft leagues out there that they don't allow you to trade franchise players. Turkoglu gets owned. Farmar misses. Wow. Come on, Farmar. There we go. Cook from downtown. Splash. So anyway, I just think that draft leagues are better than NBA roster leagues. And since this game didn't turn out to be anything special, why not rant again, right? Why not rant? What a fast break right there. Let's talk about points in the paint. Most sim leagues are going to have a points in the paint rule. And even this league has a points in the paint rule. Now, the points in the paint rule, I don't really have a problem with the points in the paint rule because it's dead on with what happens in the NBA. Usually there's some kind of percentage of how many points you can score in the paint. And I agree with that because in the NBA, teams are only going to be scoring basically. I mean, it's not like they go into the game saying, all right, we're only going to score this. No, but over the course of the game, that's just what happens. They end up scoring that percentage. And so why not have a rule where you do that? I don't have a problem with that. The problem that I have is the gamers in the league. Believe it or not, gamers are taking advantage of that rule because they know that defensively, since there is a points in the paint rule, they don't really have to play defense. And I think the perfect example to really explain what I'm talking about is let's just talk about Rondo. Rondo is the kind of player in a sim league that is just, he's virtually useless. He is, even though he's rated so high, I don't know what he's rated, but even though he is rated high, he is really, he's like a rated 50 player because you cannot use Rondo the way he's supposed to be used in a sim league. You can't, because he gets his points in the paint. He's fast, he has handles, he has great passing, and so if you watch a Celtics game, Rondo is going to be in and out of the paint all game long. And because he can make the layup, the other team has to respect his ability to get into the paint. So when he gets into the paint, you have defenders coming over to help, because if they don't help, Rondo's going to get a layup. So now that opens up a pass to Ray Allen, to Eddie House, to Paul Pierce, to Garnett, to Rasheed, etc., etc. That would never happen in a sim league because the other team would never double team somebody like Rondo or even somebody like LeBron or Wade or Kobe. Those players don't even get double teamed much in a sim league. I've had players like that in sim leagues before, and they wouldn't even get double teamed. Like I would have a Dwayne Wade, and he'd be going up against Steve Nash, and there would never be a double team. And so if I were to take Nash, or if I were to take Wade and get a layup every time down, I would get kicked out of the league because I would go over the points in the paint. But that's not my fault for going over the points in the paint. It's the gamer's fault for not respecting the mismatch. You know, if someone has a guy like Rondo and you have Steve Nash, you have to double team. If you don't double team, Rondo is going to eat you alive. And so players like Rondo and LeBron and Kobe and Wade, they're supposed to get the rest of your team open jump shots. But in sim leagues, the gamers in the leagues don't even double team the mismatches because they know that there's a points in the paint rule. So the threat of Dwayne Wade or LeBron James or Kobe getting a layup, it's not really a threat because eventually they can't go to the paint anymore. Eventually, they're going to have to do what they want you to do. You're going to have to take jump shots with defenders right in your face. So in a sim league, for the most part, you can guard players like LeBron right tight, right up in their face, and you don't have to worry about anything because you know that LeBron cannot just go by you every time and get a layup or a dunk. You know he can't because it's the points in the paint rule, but that's incorrect. That's not basketball. You should be working hard to keep a guy like LeBron out of the paint because that's what happens in real life. That's what happens in the NBA, and that's just basketball. And this game has tools for you to play defense and keep players out of the paint. And you have to remember that this is a sim league. And there are realistic ways of getting into the paint in a sim league. And there's also realistic ways of stopping it and defending it. But I don't know if this culture will ever change. You know, I don't see a Rondo ever getting double teamed in a sim league. So therefore, Rondo is useless in a sim league because he's not a jump shooter. And that's why a player like Danny Granger, who's a great player. Danny Granger is a great player. I'm just using him as an example, but Danny Granger is better than LeBron James because he doesn't have to go inside. He can go inside, but he's such a good shooter that he's going to make more shots with people right in his face when you guard him close than LeBron because he's basically almost like a pure shooter. And that's just incorrect. And then, of course, some leagues take it to the extreme. They'll have a rule that says in the fourth quarter, the last 2 minutes of the game, you can't go into the paint. Or they'll say in the last 2 minutes of the game, you can only go into the paint one time. That is retarded. That's stupid. So basically in the fourth quarter, the last 2 minutes of the game, the players that score inside lose all their value. So that's just another rant. Sim leagues have good intentions, but a lot of them have unnecessary rules. And actually, the points in the paint rule is not unnecessary, but the culture needs to change with the gamers. Gamers need to start double teaming, because if you don't double team, then Rondo's useless. You know, if you don't double team, then you should be able to take Rondo and go get layups. You should have to double team a guy like Rondo, because that's how he gets his teammates shots. But in sim leagues, you can't play that way. So who knows? That's another rant. When will another rant be coming? I don't know. But there'll probably be another one. Why not, right? Why not rant?